Not a great movie, but still a solid watch.
The court accepts the existence of God every time a witness swears to tell the truth. I think it's about time they accept the existence of the devil.
The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It is the third entry into these Conjuring movies here, and like the seventh entry into this whole Conjuring universe. And this Conjuring movie is the first one of these Conjuring movies that's not directed by James Wan. This time around, it's Michael Chaves who directs it, and he is also the one who directed La Llorona. A lot of people like that movie, a lot of people disliked it, a lot of people just found it eh. I personally didn't really care for the movie. I do think he did a better job directing this movie. However, I will say, if you have just recently watched the first and second Conjuring leading up to this third installment, you can tell that there's a different person in the director's chair of this movie. It's just the way certain shots are framed and the way certain scare parts and everything are directed. You can just tell it's not James Wan. And it's not a bad thing. It's not that Michael Chaves does a bad job directing or anything. It's just you can tell if you just recently watched the first two Conjuring movies that this does feel a little bit different. And I want to talk a little bit about Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, who play both Ed and Lorraine Warren. They do a great job in all the movies they've been in, the first two Conjurings and Annabelle Comes Home and everything. And this movie, eventually about halfway through, I didn't really see the issue as much. But in the very first half of the movie, it seemed like they were almost checked out. And it almost made me check out in a way, because not only were they checked out, but it seemed like the entire movie throughout the first half of it was almost kind of just going through the motions of what we've already seen in the previous two movies, but without like that punch, without that heart that James Wan has put through it. Because we see in the first and second Conjuring movie, Ed and Lorraine Warren care so much about these families that they're trying to help. And in this movie, the boy that they're trying to help, Arnie, who has this demon cast upon him, it doesn't really seem like they really actually care. I mean, we're told that they care and they say that they care, but it doesn't ever really feel that way. Whereas in the first and second Conjuring movie, you can tell that they really cared about those families that they were trying to help. And that's probably my biggest issue with this movie, is the fact that it just kind of seems like it's going through the motions and there's not really that heart to it. And as far as the tension and scares go, there are some jump scares that will get you, some, those loud noises that'll make you go, ugh. But there's nothing like really creepy or scary about this one like there is. And I mean, I remember seeing the first Conjuring in the theaters, and when they're playing that clap game, I mean, that was a really tense scene. And in the second Conjuring, when the where the little girl's in the room and those crosses all start turning upside down, that's a really tense scene, along with a bunch of others. And in this movie, it's sad to say, but there's not a whole lot of tension, and everything that's scary, it just happens to just basically come with a loud noise and a little jump scare, and that's really about it. So the movie, as far as a horror movie goes, it's not like it's a terrible movie, but compared to the first two Conjuring movies, it was kind of a letdown, to be honest. It's a lot better than movies like La Llorona and The Nun and the first Annabelle movie and stuff like that. I still think Annabelle Creation's better than this third Conjuring, and I'd probably say this third Conjuring's better than Annabelle Comes Home as well. But compared to the first two, just not as good. And like I said in the beginning of the video, when I said not a great movie but still solid, I really mean that. I wouldn't even say it's like good. I would just say solid. I don't know if I'll ever really revisit this one. I've watched the first and second one multiple times. I'm not sure if I ever really feel the need to really revisit this third movie. But if you're looking to just kind of get out of the house, or even just stay at home and watch it on HBO Max and just have an hour and 50-some minute movie playing in front of you and have some sort of enjoyment, this movie will offer that to you. So would I recommend this movie? I mean, yes, because, I mean, it's not a terrible movie, but if you have HBO Max, I'd honestly say save your money and watch it from the couch at your house. I wouldn't really say this is anything worth going to go and pay your hard-earned money to go see in a theater, which is sad to say because the first and second one were such great experiences to see in the theater. But I mean, it was a letdown of a movie for me personally, but it's not a terrible movie, and if you watch it on HBO Max, I'm sure you will find some enjoyment to it.